That's my boy.
I'm going to show you the submission choke, now choke, starting open guard, right? So I normally when I'm working a passing guard, I do like, you know, sometimes go through special, you know, smaller guys, you know, I like to crush them. Bigger guys, I stand up, try to work around them, right? It's not easy to muscle them, right? Like the smaller guys, right? So one of the things I like to do, it works in both ways, small guys, big guys, right? Just one of those things that works in you know, every technique should work in the size, right? But sometimes depending on the speed, right? If I get like a smaller guy here, so it's very fast, you know, some techniques will not work against him, you know, like guys my size, you know, they have same speed, same strength, right? So the technique should be, you know, everything equal to work, right? So smaller guys, sometimes you're gonna chase them, right? It's hard, right? And you lose some speed because they are faster than you, right? But this one is pretty good because it's been working against all guys, right? So yes, it's good here. I'm gonna make my grip, right, in the, I call the outside lapel, right? Because this one will be the inside for me, because I'm here, right? So that's my side. I can't catch it that way, right? So it's inside, it's the outside, right? So I grab the lapel, I don't have to grab really close to the neck, right? So about the chest right there. So I'm blocking, you know, his way here with my elbow, so I don't let him get anything through there, right? So I'm blocking right there, okay? My knee up here, right? I put the base in here, right? Not like so tight here, so he might, you know, start, you know, break my balance. And right here, and this one on the leg. So I gotta control that leg. Now, I'm gonna pull this guy, right? I'm not going in that way, but I'm going to pull him up. Boom, right there. I let him grab my leg, right? I let him think he's gonna have a single leg or something on me or a sweep, right? So now I'm gonna leave the grip I have on the leg, right? And I'm going to push his head in that way, getting my arm right here, right? So one thing I have to do, I cannot be loose here because I push, he will swing his head back, right? So when I push that with his head, I have to make sure I'm gonna keep that hand over there, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to swing around, grab the leg, right? You guys good? You saw that one?
What day is it, Brian? What day is it?
It is a quick show. Very strong. Right? Okay, again, split, outside lapel. Blocking his way, not to get here. My knees block everything. Sometimes, guys, you want to also point your knee a little out, right? So I keep him here, right? But sometimes you defend yourself, so you point that out, right? So it makes a better base right here. And that one out. Sure. Okay? Again, hold the leg, right? Pull him up, right? Now, with that, push and hold right there, right? Next step, I gotta swing that leg all the way there. Block him here. Now I reach for this, the pants, right? Now I have to do it. One more time, we're good?
One more time. I want to see really tight. The other side. Really tight now.
Really tight.
I want to see the detail really tight, please.
I want to see what it looks like with blue lips.
Solid base here. Get your butt up, right? Low. Pull him up. So here's the thing, you have to pull. Strong, like you. In. Push the head. Now swing around. Right there. So I'm pinching my knees here, right? So he cannot like try to follow me. Right? And then grab pants, right? Fall down. See my knee here? You go there. If you kind of go all the way here, that works same thing, right? I like to have my knee there because I have a better angle to extend my hips and make it work. All right?
Awesome.
Let's go. the first part's right, when you're pulling him up here, right, and everyone's getting here. But now, the step I'm doing, I have to go all the way around, because if I step right here, now how am I gonna reach? Yeah, exactly. And how am I gonna reach in the other side, right? So I'm here, I pull that, now I have to go here, you see? Facing the same way he is facing. Now I have to, reach right there. And then I go down. And again, I don't go down like in that way, right? But towards this way. All right? Got it? So, all the way around. So, front again.
Well, I'm going to show you guys like one of my bread and butter moves I use on everybody, white belt through black belt. Okay, so one of my most favorite techniques. So just starting from your closed guard, we're going to have our sleeve grips. And what I want to do, I don't want to really make the guy worried about anything. So when I hold these grips, I'm real relaxed. I'm not like trying to pull his arm and do all this, right? I don't want to sell that he's in trouble. So I'm going to hold one side, the side that I want to sweep into, which is going to be to my left. So I'm going to keep a hold of that sleeve, and this one's just going to go down to his pant leg. And I like to hold between his knee and the bottom of the pant leg. Most of you guys know you can't grab inside the pant leg, right? So I'm going to try to hold like right around his calf, closer to his ankle, right? But not all the way down by the ankle. So I'm going to be here. Okay? As soon as I get my grips, I'm not going to hang out here a long time, because somebody that knows what I'm doing, he's going to break that grip on his pant leg. So as soon as I get these, I'm going to be ready to go. So the same side that I'm holding the sleeve, I'm going to step my foot next to his leg, and I'm going to pinch my knee in. And the way you're going to think of this leg, it's like you're going to build a little fence on that side for him to roll over the top of. So I plant the foot, I pinch the knee in. Now my hip needs to lift. So I lift my hip, and I want to make this leg straight. So I don't want this leg to bend around his back like this. It's going to be straight, and I'm going to use the inside of my knee to push him. And a lot of people, when they do this move, they try to take the guy straight to the side. That works sometimes, but it's not as good, in my opinion, if you can make him go over his right shoulder. So when I chop, I actually chop diagonal towards his far shoulder. Okay, so I lift my hip and I chop here. Now this leg gets really light. I'm going to punch this leg. And here's a detail that a lot of people forget. I'm actually going to pull this towards my butt as I'm coming up. Because a lot of people will let the guy get this leg free, and he might put it on the ground to block and try to spring back up, whatever. So I really make sure I lift it. And once I'm coming up, I can take the grip off the sleeve, and I keep this all the way until I'm on the top. Now I'm going to go and secure my mount. So again, basic sleeve grips, control the pant leg. You're going to have to slide your body, right? Not all of you are going to have arms as long as mine. Just slide your body, do a little side bend, get the pant leg. The longer you wait here, the more time he has to think about what you're doing and how to counter, right? So really be set on as soon as you get your grips. Step, lift, keep the leg stiff, use the inside of your knee, and you're going diagonal. You're not going this way. You're going to go diagonal. And here, as soon as I'm coming up, I pull that towards my butt. Once I stabilize on top, I can base the arms out, secure my mount. Okay? And I'm just going to show one last part. We're not going to drill it, but just so you know it's there. Is when you get good at this, you start catching it on people. What's going to happen is you're going to go to do it, and you're going to feel him really put his base over here. You can't take him over there, right? So if I feel that, I switch to the other sleeve. So I'm still pinching this knee in. I switch to this sleeve. Now I'm still holding his pant leg at this point. I'm going to use that foot on the floor to bridge. I'm going to lift my hip and I'm going to go to the other direction, right? Because he put all his eggs in the one basket at that point by committing so much base to the other side to stop the initial sweep. So I just wanted you guys to know that's available if people start blocking the initial sweep, okay? So let's do the first one, okay? Go.
This one just is easier for everybody to practice. I'm gonna start standing up, okay guys? So we have more room, but it's a position that yes, you can get there even when the guy has his knees down, okay guys? So what we're gonna do here first, the grip, okay? So since I'm controlling the grip here, I know that if I step here on his hip, it's gonna be harder for him to push my foot down unless he crosses with his left hand, right guys? So what I wanna do here, I'm just gonna pull guard, okay guys? So I step on the hip, then I'm gonna sit, and I create a little momentum here with my leg. Okay guys? So right now, what I wanna do, I cannot let it go of the grips yet. Okay guys? So I'm gonna bring my right foot on his hip, okay? Then I'm gonna square my hip between his knees. So when I do that, I go 1. Now, I'm gonna let it go of the sleeve, and then I'm gonna reach for the ankle. I'm gonna keep my right foot on his hip, and then at the same time now, when I go to grab the ankle, I want at the same time drop my left foot on the mat and see how his hip is away from me still. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drag myself here. Okay guys, so now what I wanna do here, I'm gonna go my left leg and step on his hip. Remember guys, you cannot cross. Okay guys, so make sure you just step here on the belt, toes out. Okay guys, now the next step, I'm gonna, my right foot right behind his knee. Okay guys, so now what I need to do here, I'm gonna bridge my left shoulder, I'm gonna pinch my knees together, and I'm gonna kick it in that way. So I go 1, let it go, keep the grip, keep here, so I have the option to either slide my knee, or when I go here, he pushes, I go back, use the momentum, and then I can pass the guard. Okay, so again, so I go here, I go 1, back, step, hook, now look my knees out. See my knees pointing that way? Look my shoulder here, I'm gonna bridge and put a pressure here on this knee here, okay guys? So I go 1, now my left leg comes under. Keep the grip, so I can go with my knee. Or like I said, when I go, he pushed, I use the momentum and drive his foot to the side. Okay guys, this is what we're gonna do, okay guys? But I'm just gonna show you guys one thing here. A lot of times, I go here, when I go 1, grab, I'm gonna step on the hip. He's gonna close his elbow. He's gonna put his elbow there and I can't. See? So guys, simple. 1, 2. So remember, I'm trying to step on the hip to do that number 1. But let's say it's not happening. You're gonna have a little variation here that you can go under, drop, and then I can try to reach the sleeve here, and then keep, pull up, and finish the position. Okay guys, so just one more time here. I just show you guys, just so you guys see if you cannot put that foot there, okay guys? But we're gonna do the number 1, which you can't put the foot there, okay? So again, 1, step, hook. Now remember, 1, cross, or like you say, push here and just drive. Okay guys? Okay, so let's go, let's start.
Let's see, I want to use somebody. Griff, can you use me?
Let's
Thanks.
Oh my god. Alright, so first of all, this is awesome, you guys. Super stoked to be here. But what I want to do is focus on more of the concept for Jiu-Jitsu, because you guys are seeing a lot of submissions, guard passes, sweeps with the submissions, but everyone that's the black belt in this room knows what it takes to be good at Jiu-Jitsu. And if you didn't know any submission at all, you're still gonna have to know how to pass the guard, how to achieve the mount, get to the back, the things that are gonna make you good at Jiu-Jitsu. So right now what I wanna focus on is how I like to approach the guard so that I can pass anybody's guard and start to get heavy immediately. So when I start to approach the guard, the first thing I think of is like that picture of the man or the monkey turning into the man. So as I get closer, I'm getting smaller and smaller, okay? And now, I also don't like to get grips initially, because if I grip, that means they're gonna grip. Then I actually have to fight someone's guard. So I'm putting myself in a position where I'm already getting myself heavy, so I'm gonna start to cup and move here. So now you can see how this is a much different position for passing than more traditionally than you see people walking in, waiting to actually fight a guard, coming in, whether it's stepping inside the guard or looking for their outside passes. They're always very central. So I like to take a different approach. If I felt like there's gonna be an issue here, I would just go here, boom, and start to move myself into a position where I can start getting heavy right away. Or opening the space now where if he starts to open, notice where I'm already inside the hip. Okay, I literally didn't have to move anywhere. I already landed myself exactly where I wanted to be to get heavy for my pass. So we're gonna work two different passes, or I'll give you guys the option. My grips right away here are gonna be here at the hip and the collar. And now I'm gonna start to float my ear to ear and head inside so that my back leg can float inside his legs here. Now I'm gonna start to pick this inside arm, dropping my knee inside, and when I start to cross face heavy here, he's gonna give me the mount. Okay, so if we were coming to this side, same thing. I really wanna approach with this angle where I'm letting my shin do the job of getting my weight in. Here. Right away, grips at the hip and the collar, dropping my head inside, shifting my weight, letting my back knee drop inside here. Now I'm gonna start to pick this elbow, bringing my knee right into the armpit, and now I really wanna bring this cross face in. And he's gonna let me roll right into my mount position. Okay, one more time. Alright, the nice thing that I like about this, again, you guys, is when I approach and I come in here, say this guy really wants to fight me with this leg, I just come in for my real easy cross knee pass. Okay, takes very little work from there. Alright, on three, everybody clap, and we're going to group up and do it. 1, 2, 3.
So you guys, this is one of my favorite moves, and it's not just my favorite move because I like choking people. It's my favorite move because it's a good control move. Even if I don't finish the choke, it gives me better control over the bigger, the stronger guys. All right, so I simply am starting from side control, and I start hand over the head, and I walk my hand as deep as I can and grab the cloth, okay? Usually if she's got an embroidery on the arm, I usually shoot for the stitching, okay? And I get a good grip, and I keep my shoulder folded so I've got pressure on her, okay? My other knee is in the hip for obvious reasons, blocking her hip, trying to keep it from moving. But my hand is either elbow on one hip and wrist on the other hip to control her. She tries to roll either in or out, okay? Or I'm under deep, grabbing across her legs to the outside leg and grabbing the pants and turning my wrist. I lock my wrist out, which we do with many techniques, all right? And this is how I start my control, all right? This leg doesn't need to be close. I like to bring it back so I get a little more pressure on her, okay? But with my pressure on the head, I usually like to move my hand to the hips, all right? And work my knee up, all right? I'm pretty flexible, so I don't have to go through as much exaggeration of coming up this way. I can usually just keep my pressure on the head and slide my knee right in. But for the bigger guys, I say not bigger, less flexible, because some of you small guys aren't so flexible either. If I've got the grip here on the arm and the shoulder here, I'll grab belt or I'll grab hip and I'll straighten my arm on the neck. All right, just straighten it, and I'll do the usual jump knee on belly. All right, but notice my arm's straight. This is controlling her. All right, if I'm relaxed like this, I'm letting her move her head. She can move her head, she can move her hips. All right, I want this controlled, and now my knee is controlling her hip. And I've also made space to slide my hand in her collar. All right, so her collar's nice and loose for me, so it's going to be easier for me to go fingers in and slide down and grab. And I grab pretty deep. I grab right behind my, you guys can't see my wrist is touching my other forearm. All right, and now I just drop my elbow and I keep the pressure on her. I can now release the pressure with this arm. I don't have to worry about keeping it straight anymore. I can release it because now this arm is controlling her head. And I'm not just hand in. I'm curling my arm up and dropping my elbow into her chest to keep it tight. All right? This hand now, I like to slide it up a little bit, put my thumb inside the collar, and just bring it over her head and set up for the choke. And I can finish the choke here just by pulling this bottom arm. Okay? Cindy, knowing Jiu-Jitsu pretty well, isn't just going to let me get this. She's going to push away. Even better. When she pushes away is when I really can finish my choke. Okay? I don't need this knee on the belly anymore to control her. In fact, I want her to push my knee off. I want her to escape out. All right? And the choke isn't just how far can I drop my elbow to the mat. It's pulling that bottom arm and then turning the elbow. All right? So from the top, good side control. So keep on the arm. I want to start here with control. I can start here with control. All right? I'm going to go knee on belly. All right? I'm being nice. I'm trying to be nice by keeping my foot on the ground and not dropping on my weight. If I really wanted to do knee, I'm going to do knee across the sternum. All right? Toes off the mat. Space to get my hand in. All right? You guys see that inside collar? Slide my thumb. Remember this pressure, all right? I'm curling her so she can't lay her head on the mat. Try to lay her head on the mat. All right? Thumb in, wrap around. I can finish the choke here by pulling, all right? But Cindy's pretty good at defending. She's not going to give it up that easy. She's going to try to get out. As soon as she gets out, some rolls to her side. I really pull on that bottom arm. Okay? You guys got it? All right.
You guys know what's coming. Go ahead.
You're gonna smash it?
No, be nice. Almost. Do you know the baseball grip and the baseball choke? I've done this quite a bit in here, and I like this choke. One of the things I like about it is that we're attacking everything within the soft part of the neck. Okay, you got blood, you got air, you got two nerves that run the heart. Everything runs through the neck. So understand that. So I'm doing a lot of things here. First thing I usually do is get my grip with my thumb. And I pull the head down. Open her up. He pulls the head up. Oh, he's a candidate for the baseball choke. All right. Again, I pull it down. A little more room. Let him bring it back up. Okay. He's really a candidate for the baseball choke. Next time, as I pull it down, I bring my hand through. He brings his head up. This is where it kind of changes the way I do it versus some of the other people would do it. I like to get a little pulse to affect the nerves. Okay, if I do this right, he's almost going out with the pulse. I don't need to continue to choke much longer. From here, the arm is palm up, comes under the neck. Okay, from here, I'm making a full, complete alligator roll to the other side. One more time. Okay, again, there's a pulse. I want the pulse to affect the nerve as you come through. I want it to affect the nerve. The hands need to be tight here. I'm cutting off airway and blood supply to the brain. One more time, okay? Through and up. Now, if they hesitate and I've got the complete motion, but they hesitate, I complete pulling through. And generally go unconscious in my arms. Okay?
Generally, you're unconscious or right about here, halfway through the turn. You got to be careful, because some people may not wake up, so you got to be careful with this. Waking them up. Okay. There's also a problem here. It's an all or nothing. This is a trick move. You either go for it or you don't. If I get in here and I go for it, and he's ready for it, he's got an arm bar waiting right here for him. Anybody see that? He would rip my arm off. He'd be nice. Everybody understand? So again, baseball bat grip, little pulse, okay, and then you just go. You go. And if they resist, I guarantee they're resisting, you're here. You give it about 2 seconds and they'll be snoring. I've done it 9 times. I don't do it as violently as I used to do it. Take my time around here because it will put people to sleep pretty quick. Okay?
You guys got it?
Yes, sir.
Give it a shot.
Let's do it.
Real quick. The hands need to be close, not far away. Everybody's asking. The hands are right here. Right on top of each other, like you're gripping the bat. Bring your head up. That way it's tight right here now, right? It's already tight. And then I said, I'm throwing it hard. Sorry, Carlos. Okay, ready? He's tapping before he even gets there. So hands have to be close, palm up, palm down.
We've seen a lot of spider guard and the Eva butterfly. I'm going to start with my consent, my Laranja guard.
Finally something he's back.
Finally, huh?
So I got my legs locked up right now. Just a real, traditional kind of posture for my partner here, like this. One hand forward, one hand on the hip. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to swim it to the inside, okay? When I swim my hand to the inside, I'm going to break his posture down. Now you guys, look here, right? I break his posture down by drawing my heels in and flaring my knees. You have a lot of power with your hamstrings, so look here, right? I swim that left hand in. When I break his posture down, my left hand's going to go all the way up to the ceiling. My right hand's going to hook the back of his neck. Avoid wiping away, so resist that urge, but just go straight up, okay? Now when I come over, I'm going to overhook his arm. The thumb of my right hand is going to open up that lapel, and I'm going to feed my left hand into the cross lapel, right? So when I break his posture down, I'm getting an overhook. I'm feeding my left hand into that cross lapel. My wrist is in deeper than my elbow, and I'm doing a little forearm curl here just to keep it nice and tight, pitching my elbow in. Left hand swims in, break the posture, hook the back of the neck, overhook his arm, feed that left hand in, 4 fingers in, thumb out, little forearm curl, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna take my right hand, I just wanna post on his shoulder here like this. Stop him from stuffing me or smothering me. So I take my right hand, I post. Now I wanna bend in his arm, okay? And it's usually there, but just to make sure, I just kinda yank on that arm a bit, get him to tighten it up, right? Okay, now from here, I unlock my legs, rotate my hips to the side of the arm that I have trapped, okay? My left foot now is going to come down to the ground. I'm going to shrink my hips out just until my hips get past his elbow. When my hips go past his elbow, I'm going to drop his arm in front of my body. Here. Okay? Now that I've dropped his arm in front of the body, my left toe is going to go here. Depends on how big the guy is, right? Maybe it's on his hip, maybe it's on his thigh. But it has to be my toe, not my heel. Because I want to drive my knee in. So I put my toe and I lock that in. Now I just start to scoot myself back underneath like I'm pulling into the pull guard. Okay? His arm is bent and trapped like this with your body. You just start to scoot in. Make sure your right leg stays heavy on his hip, not your foot. I don't want him to wipe my foot away and tap. Okay? So again, here, close, got a Laranja guard. Left hand comes in. I break his posture down. This is just a great way of holding his posture down. So if you're a little guy and you just want to hold somebody's posture down, this is a great way. I bring him to me, I overhook that arm, feed it into that cross lapel, little forearm curl. Now I can hold him here for a second, okay? Right hand, post onto his shoulder, unlock your legs, rotate your hips. Post your foot, back your hips out, and drop that elbow in front of your body. Boom, there. Forearm curl still, keeping that arm in nice and tight in that cross lapel. Now toe. If you want your knee to come in, you dig your toe like you're putting out a cigarette. If you want your knee to go out, you dig your heel, right? I want my knee in, so I put my toe, I drop, and then I slowly just start to scoop myself under his body, maintaining that grip, right? One last time, promise, okay? Here, left hand comes in, break the posture. Overhook, feet into the cross lapel, post on the shoulder. Unlock, rotate your hips, post, shrink and drop that elbow. Foot goes back onto his hip here. I slowly start to scoop myself in. Nice gold medals, let's do it, right? You guys, gi or no gi, right? The no gi version is you take off your gi. So look here. If you break his posture down, same way, I swim my hand in, I break his posture down, I overhook, right? Now look here. Just there, like this. See that? So instead of pushing on his far side shoulder, I'm pushing on his near side shoulder, and I still have that grip. Okay, my wrist of my left hand still in deeper. Now look here, back out, drop it in, and go. Okay, good, keep going.
And we're going to work our grips here. So I'm going to get 2 good grips. You can do pistol grips or you can just cuff the sleeves, however you feel. And I'm going to open my guard up, working from a leg lasso over top spider guard. So from here, I've got him locked in, elbows pinched tight, keeping his gi really tight here, and then keeping both sleeves. I'm going to shift my hips over and come into a spider, getting the arm, and I'll pop this one through. This one's sitting now on his back, and all I do is kick straight through to a hook, roll down my triangle. So again, we close guard with good grips. As I open my guard, foot to hip, leg over outside, and widen. Bring this one in, right up on the arm, shoot it through. Second one, just kick up, circle back, finish the triangle. Good? Good. Detail, and I leg lasso over. I don't like to, I see a lot of people that like to hide their foot up here, up underneath his armpit. But if Bill frees his hand up or breaks that grip up, he's able to stand, and right away he can drop into an ankle lock and start attacking. Heel hooks for black belts, a lot of things he can set up right there. So in my personal opinion, I like to keep my foot down and hide it by his hip here and keep this knee wide, lots of pressure on him, keeping him off balance. Gives a lot of pressure on his bicep, and it keeps him, again, off center. Here, if I do lose my grip, it's a lot easier for me to grab his collar and stay away from any foot or ankle locks right there.
If you remember, if you're from the 70s, there was a little toy that was shaped like an egg, and it's called an eagle, and you try to push it, and then just come back up. So grip is representing the eagle. Come here, I like to have standing. I come in, I can like pop him in his face, I can control the feet, and what I'm trying to do first is develop a pattern for grip. Will he be illegal? Here, if I rock him back, and I know he's going to sit back up, then I know I can do my move. Okay? So, I rock him down, and we're going to do a slow motion. Slower motion. As he sits up, even slower. As he sits up, look, I'm going to step one foot to the outside. Sometimes I'll control the arm. Go back one more time. Outside. Step. Sit. Arm bar. Triangle. Okay, under 5 steps, super easy. Okay, I like everything 3 to 5 steps. So step number 1. Stagger stance, low. You can't stand high and be like, can't reach his feet. Down low, here, I'm going to push him down to see if he sits back up. If he sits back up, then I know I have my move. Here, look, outside, I can catch whatever side I step outside, and then I'm going to just pretend that I hit him in his face with my thigh or pelvic bone, or I can imagine I just step to his shoulder. One, pose, sit over, I can finish here, I can finish here, I can finish here, okay? Last time. Step number 1. Do this. Step number 2. Repeat step number 1. Step number 3. Step. Big step. Sit on the side like an elevator, right? I ride it down. Here, post, step over, thigh master the knees, big step. Are we good? Step number 3.1. Okay? 1, 1.2, 2, 3 is the big step. Right? Now watch where I land with this foot. Look, outside of the foot. Top of the foot, no. Okay? I don't need you to feel sorry for this guy. You should be able to do a line, right? In control. If you can do this, look. Not heavy, right? Okay, let's go.
I like to show something really basic, okay? And I hope you can share good knowledge too. Can I borrow one of my boy? Both my boy. I see a lot of you guys, you know, when I compete and I take people like a really good guard, they have a really trouble. Sometimes I let the guy hold me. Okay, please, the guard. Sometimes it happens here, or a lot of the time it happens here. I can see it, you know, when people compete, stay in this situation, you know, and that you go to move in here low, you don't know how to do it. So it happens with me. So what am I doing? Sometimes I let the guy roll my leg. You know, I go, boom. Now I push my knee. In this of his knee, I go for his arm. Now what I'm doing? I press down, okay? But I have to keep really, really good in my hand here, just to remember this thing, okay? I'm in here, so almost a lot of the time the guys go to push my knee for the side. Okay, good. And then he tried to work my leg to be like a half guard. Good. I have to be good and straighten my arm. I cannot let. Now this knee go between my knee. One. And now I leave my other knee out. Okay, good. I stay here. Sometimes I just let the guy to think he wants to take me in the half guard. Understand? So when I stay here, now my hand go to his back. Good. Sometimes the guy go push, you know? Okay, nice. I have to try. I don't make it strong, just the way how I breathe and then move my body. Sometimes I like to tell, hey, Jiu-Jitsu is like chess, no? You just move, let the guy doing, for you have your trick, like Jack in the Box, no? So what happened here? The guy done, okay, nice, good. Now I make breath, no? My knee, because I want the guy start to don't have to breathe, no? I'm sorry, no? Okay, now push my knee. Almost time this happens. When he's push my knee, this is the key. Look my hand. It's really deep, really in the my knife in his neck. When he push, this is the key, and now I go put between both knees and grip his belt. Sometimes you know what happened. The guy go to try to sweep, you know? Okay. I can't go. I have control. Understand?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Thank you guys. Butterfly guard.
this guy's going to keep his arms, if he keeps his elbows up, I'm just going to reach up and arm bar him here. So guys who know what they're doing, they're going to keep their elbows down. So the other thing I do is when I'm in the butterfly guard, I need to keep both legs and hands active. Some guys will just rest their feet in the middle. Whenever I have feet in here, I'm always pushing, pulling, moving, and hooking into the legs. If I don't do that, he's just going to just pass my guard. So it's about keeping everything active. So for the sake of this, we're going to start with just the double lapel hold. So he's planted down here. I'm going to come back. I need to pull him forward in order to get him off balance a little bit. If he keeps back here, I'm not strong enough to move him. So it's about pulling him forward. I'm going to come over to the side. What I'm looking at having him do is I want to just get a little opening underneath the armpit on one side. So here, now I'm not really trying to pick him up, just trying to off center him, which is going to bring his arm out. Hand's going to come underneath, and I'm going to grab the ball of the shoulder here. And by putting my arm this way, now I'm able to use my chest and my bicep to pull him in. So I'm coming up here, pulling me in. My other hand is going to come up right next to here, which is going to then hold his face away. Because I don't want him to stack me, and I'm also going to, now I'm going to go for the arm bar. So this elbow comes up, push the face. My legs are still going active. If he gives up his base, I'll just go for the sweep. Now this arm here that's still holding the ball of the shoulder, all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the arm up to my neck. And from here, I'm just going to elbow skate and pull down. So I'm here. See there, he really gave it up because I put his arm. I'm just going to reach right up. I'm curling in, so I'm coming really close to this. Other hand here, push his face away. Now the trick is here, is all I'm doing now is I'm rolling the elbow up and forward, because I want to roll his hand over. So I'm here. If I just bring it up here, and he's just going to bend the elbow out of it. So when I'm here, I'm rolling the arm over. And as I roll the arm over, I straighten my leg, just go the other way. Go to the reverse arm bar. One more time here. So hooks in, over, getting him to give me some space to get underneath. Grab the ball of the shoulder, other hand's next to it. Move the face away. Just roll this elbow up and that, push my legs, that's the arm bar. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awesome. All right, guys, let's work that.
So I'm gonna, it's a choke using my collar, okay? My gi, so it's this side, this one's the low side, okay? There's one up here too I really like, but this is the one we're gonna do. Now first thing, you guys basically are gonna need a lot of gi, so make sure, one common mistake is your gi is tucked in and you come up and you don't have enough slack in the gi and you immediately, it's a tell because you're kind of cranking the guy's neck and he'll start to defend right away. So first common mistake is people don't have enough, give yourself a lot of gi here, right? So and also, again, time constraints, I'm not just gonna hand this here, I'm gonna be a little stealthy about it. In fact, a lot of times I like to get it from the mount when I'm just right here and I'll just be real slick about it and then I'll go back to side control. Okay, but for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna hand the gi and close to his ear, not out, okay, so I'm here. Okay, that's the first part. You see my hands right next to his ear. Real simple to get into position. I'm just gonna pivot on the high knee, okay? There's no big movement here. I'm just pivoting on the high knee till I'm parallel. Okay, so I'm right here, right? So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop and roll my hip and I'm gonna be looking that way while I'm rolling my wrist that way. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna basically drop and make this tight across his neck. And one last little detail is, while I'm turning, I'm gonna slightly walk my hips back this way. And if you guys, just to simplify it, basically all that stuff I just said is gonna make this tight, it's gonna drop it, and then it's gonna cinch it up. So that's all the stuff I just said. That's what it's doing, so I'm gonna go slow here. Pivot, I put my head on the mat, roll my hip, roll my wrist, and slightly back up. Okay, it's that simple. So again, all that little stuff, the hip, the wrist, you just think about it. You're making this tight, low, and then when you back up a little, you're kind of cinching it under his neck. So again, handing it off. Again, I'm going to be stealthy about this. Make sure you have a lot of slack here. Again, if you don't get enough, you're going to have to crank the guy. You're going to tell the guy you're choking him, okay, to tell. So I'm going to be really just kind of slick about it here. Boom. Pivot just on the top knee. Off to the side. Roll and lower. I'm dropping my hip, okay, and rolling my left wrist, and then slightly walking toward his head. So it's like this. Okay, really simple. But the details, you need to get those, okay?
Hey guys, so I'm going to work in the closed guard, and we're going to be transitioning to the back using the arm drag. There's a lot of ways you could drag the arm. We're just going to start with a simple one because, you know, the arm drag is going to vary, but this technique is going to be the same. So, however you drag the arm, in this case I'm going to cross grip the sleeve, control the elbow. I want to pull this across as I scoop my hips out. Once I do this, I build up on my elbow. I start to work to my right hip here, controlling the lat, pulling forward. And now I'm going to transition to this hand and push into him with my chest. I don't want any space for him to clear his elbow through here. So I push in here. Now, a lot of times when you get here, guys are going to clamp down just like this. He already knows he screwed up. He knows that I'm going to the back. I mean, there's no secret, right? So if this leg's trapped, I really can't get there. So a lot of times guys are going to trap that leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and post out toward my right. Both hands on the mat and get my hips up and over. Here. Both hands go to the mat, and if you look at the right foot, it curls down. And then I also flex the calf, so that foot's pushing into his knee. Here. I'm going to walk backwards and straighten that leg. So I fall right into the next step. Hook the arm immediately, lean towards the legs. I'll take my arm off. Okay? So let's go one more time, different angle. So, close guard, I control, I'm going to drag and build up. Immediately he starts to clamp down. And now this is a momentum type thing. So I got to use my momentum, my hips coming up, and I got to get at an angle again. Here. I push back, and I immediately go to the S-mount armbar. Pinch the knees, and finish here. Okay, let's do one more. Let's go full speed on this one. Okay, guys? Okay, guys, so that momentum is key. Alright? And you'll find that you'll get to this position from a lot of different scrambles. When they're clamping down on that leg, you can belly out, push back. So when we come up here, we got to extend this leg forward and push backward. Alright? Go.
So a lot of times you get here and the guy starts to defend, fly grab his own belt. What's kind of nice about this submission too is that he or no he works just the same. So that's kind of nice. So you have good position. Big strong dude, he's going to be able to hold on all day. I mean, I guess you can try to you can attack the grip and try to turn this position into a winner. But sometimes, especially if you're gassed and you just don't want to waste the energy of ripping the grip off, and you just go into a choke with your leg scissors. You gotta sell it a little bit though, because you don't want the bottom guy switching onto a choke. So I do give a couple good pulls on the arm, like I'm trying to break the grip. I want to sell it, I still want to get the lock, right? But as I'm doing it, I'm kind of positioning my legs where I want them to be. And I'm starting to pretty much control or position 6's head, so his head's between my legs, right? Now a lot of people don't like their head being controlled. As soon as that starts getting locked down, that's kind of a bad sign for the bottom guy. So you kind of want to keep his mind busy by still trying to wrench on the Kimura, right? When you get your legs into position, I like to give I'm going to give one really big push. So I drive into the bottom guy, and what that kind of does is it brings his head up a little bit. So I'm going to need to slide my leg underneath his neck or his head. And it also makes bottom guy think, hey, he's going for the big crush right here. He's just going to rip it and really give a quick shot. So instinctively, when you're attacking a limb, people just kind of want to curl around, protect that limb. So it kind of brings his head up naturally anyways. Plus, I'm bringing his head up, I'm driving into him. Now my bottom leg is just going to slide under his head. Now if you can't see, you're going to kind of want him because it's fairly important.
this is where the choke is going to come from. So when I get that space and I can tell his head's up, I just kind of leverage my leg underneath his head. So now my leg basically is a pillow for his head. I'm going to keep the lock. I'm just going to roll over to the same side. I'm going to scissor my legs like this, right across his throat. Right? I'm keeping the lock because I don't want him to be able to turn into me or start messing around. I generally like to have my top leg foot underneath the bottom leg. And then it's as simple as, this is an awesome matchup because it's my legs versus his little neck. So that's great. So even if you're a little dude, and not so little. But what's so great about this is, hey, if you're outmatched as far as weight goes, you get in this position, you're a little dude, you have an outstanding matchup. This is a great matchup, your legs versus his neck. So even if Rick was 300 pounds and I'm 160, this is money. Keep the lock, and then I just squeeze and straighten my legs out. Ooh, terrible matchup for dude. Now it's important too that you just don't go like thigh master and thick squeeze, because really, I mean, some of you guys probably have that kind of strength, but as you straighten your legs out, notice the space between my legs. Ooh, it disappears. Well, bummer for him because that's where his neck is, right? So really, you shouldn't have to squeeze and burn a whole lot of energy. And even if the choke gets wasted, or he defends, it turns his head, or you just get kind of a bad leg position, you're still able to regain the top position. So it's not a wasted position. A lot of submissions, it's kind of all or nothing. Hey, you make the position, or you make the submission, he defends, and you just wasted your position. Not so in this case. So on top of Kimura, he defends. That's awesome. Because, a lot of people, and bottom guy knows he's in kind of a bad spot. So he knows that top guy's probably really going to be working for the submission. And I sell it. I want to act like I want to get it. As I'm set up, I like where my legs are. And you kind of have to feel a little bit, too, a little tactile feel with your legs. I drive into dude, and I kind of grip maybe even a little harder to kind of sell it. I'm really going to give a big pull to try to break the arm free. Drive in, and that brings his head up. Slide in my bottom leg, all over to my side. Keep the Kimura, keep the lock, because that if I waste the choke, I want to be able to come back up on top. Squeeze the legs together and straighten them out. Ooh. And that's literally like 5% of what you got to give too.
He's making sure that the bend of his knee is under Rick's chin.
Correct.
Not like he's just squeezing on his jaw.
Correct. And you don't want to, you want your knee in there because on the sides of your knees, you can kind of see it's a little more bony and not as fleshy.
It sucks.
It sucks back. So you don't want to be out on your calves, and you don't want to be deep on your thighs either, because that's just mushy. Or, I know you guys are all savages, so it's real not mushy, it's muscle, but it's not the best matchup. You kind of want to be knee to knee, like that, and then it's almost like bone on his soft throat. And again, the matchup is what makes it so money. Because my legs versus his neck, oh yeah. Squeeze, little thigh master action, and then straighten the legs out to take that space away. Ooh. Money. And if it's wasted, well, the position gets wasted, he defends, it's easy to come right back up, and then we just reset in that position.
You guys got it?
Concerns?
All right, let's try.
We're going to do a De La Riva pull to sweep. Okay, and a lot of times I like sweeping over my head from De La Riva, but they always close their hand when I sweep over, so I'm just going to take it to the side. It's a lot of times easier for heavier people. So when we get ready, we always stay nice and low, and I want to get Andrew's collar. In this one, it's fine if he gets my collar. A lot of times when I go here, I'm going to try to get it, but it's too late. So I'll go ahead in the traditional judo position, but I stay real low. The collar hand, that foot should be forward here, and all I'm going to do is hang myself here. I hang myself the whole time. Because Andrew's, it's a little bit harder for him to think about trying to defeat my De La Riva. If I'm upright and I just pull De La Riva, he'll just grab my leg. Boom. Right there. Snow. Work here, I stay low. Now, don't raise yourself, just stay low. When you start out with a De La Riva, please don't swing your leg wide. So defeat it. So you're just gonna cut real nice short. First one, post on the hip. Here. Everything's tight. It's real easy for me to lift Andrew overhead, but it's not so easy for me to follow him. Because then we'll go into half guard, or we'll brown ball or something like that. I'm going to do is bring my knees to my chest here. Take Andrew this way. Right here, this foot stays up. Grab the pants, because then as soon as this leaves, I grind, and then I make that. Okay, I can grab here and grab here, whatever way. I'm not worried about that, but it's just the move of being able to feel the balances. I'm here, catch here. Remember, stay low, sweep in. Knees to the chest. Well, wow. I'm bringing this to the chest here. Don't go over. A lot of times I'll post this hand. So what I've got is this.
Guys, when we drill this one, because we're gonna use more space on this move, pair in groups of 3 so that other people, or groups of 4, so there can be 2 people there kind of blocking while the 2 guys do it, and then you 2 do it, and they'll watch your space so we're not landing on top of each other, okay? All right, awesome, George.
I'm going to show you some stuff that you can really use. So, what better than to perform that one on when we try to defeat Sasquatch? Do a guy who looks like he's related to Sasquatch. Now, a lot of times, especially when you're at the beginning, one of the hard positions to get out is the side control. So we're gonna be on the side control. If you've seen, I was using this move to Chris Wagner. He was used to get his back. This time I'm gonna do to put a marks to that gentleman. So if you have your just that traditional side control here. Now that everybody knows that ghost, you go like this, you come here, and we come to that stuff. But we're gonna do even easier than that. So, what's the best angle for you guys? Who's the most important to see it? This way, that way?
Here.
Can I see there? So, Moha, if he's gonna have this, it's harder for me. So you're gonna put this to my temple here. Yeah. So now it's hard for me to bring that. A lot of time you have trouble to get there. But I can't move my upper body, but I can move my lower body. Okay? So I'm gonna go all the way to the side. That gives me the angle to bring that. Boom, like that. Then I'm gonna bring this under here. But I don't want him to see that. I'm just gonna keep like a King Cobra. Like we was watching last night, John Hamble. He was Colette Cobra for the Burmese fire. And he didn't want to remember what happened in Afghanistan and also all the other stuff. So then, instead of to keep him here, now I gotta bring this hand to here. I'm not bringing here. I bring to that, and it's important. You have to keep that guy down here. Okay? Another detail. I have to keep my body into this arm because I don't want to give him no space. I'm gonna keep him here, and I'm going to. This one is gonna be the bone here. You're gonna come here, and you're gonna go into that guy. That's Sasquatch. Watch your attitude. I mean, look, he's trying to have his face. So once again, he's even having me ham up more here to my chapel. Okay? I can't get that one. But Poha, now I can get that shit. Only that stuff. And then we're gonna just bring that to, but we don't want to show him that. We're just gonna keep here. Then we're gonna grab that. We don't want him to escape. So if we give too much space here, he can get his arm to be out of there. Take your arm, Sasquatch. So we want to pinch that between here and here. Then we're gonna go forward. Just your head here. You don't want to get up. You're just here. See, that's very important. That bone. If you do that, you're gonna put the flesh, that Popeye arm there. You want to put to that. You're gonna give to that guy, and it's gonna be nice and easy to that one. Everybody understand that? Yes. Never seen nothing like that in your whole life. You're lucky it didn't happen in your life. So one more time. Okay. So we're here. I can't get that one. Pull up. Bring here. Come back. Grab that guy. Then I'm gonna go. Boom. The most important point is that you're gonna keep your body to that guy. When I've lost this move, it's because I get too excited and leave too much space. You keep close to him. And then into him. And that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Let that be a lesson to you. Stop. Yeah. Okay, what you don't want to start, when you have this one, you don't want to start already here. You don't want him to know you're doing that one. This part's going to be quick, okay? You can't just stay here, because it's not that. You can keep him for a little bit, but you can't just keep him there forever like that. So you want to keep him in this position here when you do this stuff here, okay? And then, at the last second, when you decide you're going to do it, okay? So when it happens in real life, this is what it looks like. So,